Hello, YouTubers. Again, this is the Miracle Man, also known as Uncle L, coming to you live. Um, Today is a special day. It's my birthday. So this 24th of September is very big in my heart, because I've been through so much. And I'm just wishing that, wishing and praying that this year going into the next year will grant me and grant me good health and strong recovery. So, what's on my heart is, I'll say it like this, guys. I've had some very great relationships with some very special ladies in my adult life, and so it all started with I would say my first girlfriend, and I met her uh, down in the basement of a church at the water fountain. And a lot of my relationships have had some very interesting interactions in the very beginning, like where I met these uh, ladies. And so that relationship was a very interesting relationship. I learned a lot, went through a lot, like relationships do. And then after her came another nice young lady who's a little older than me. And because my first girlfriend, she was younger, uh, three years younger than me. And so my next girlfriend after that, she actually was 3 years older than me. And then when we got done doing our thing, um, then came another flower. So, and that's what I call the ladies, flowers. So, uh, th- this flower that came into my life, she was one who was strong physically, strong in spirit, strong in her faith, um, which was a great thing because she was at the very beginning of her walk with Christ. And, that's a very uh, emo- emotional time with a lot of people when they first start walking with Christ. You know, um, they're very dedicated and they're very attentive to what other believers are doing. And so I really respected a lot of our activities um, and things that we got involved in. She got me into motorcycle riding. Um, well, I was already into it, but I never uh, got into it exclusively like I did in that relationship. I bought my first motorcycle um, during that period, and so it was uh, very much of a great experience. And then after we kind of went our own separate ways, because she moved back to Atlanta, and she became a police officer, which was great. I was good to find out and know that she was doing very, very well because she had had so many ups and downs, like myself, with jobs. So I was glad to hear she was doing very well with her career move. And then after that, walking through the mall at Tower City, I think I found one of the most pretty flowers I had really experienced in a long time. Now, this young lady was 10 years younger than myself at the time. And I had to talk to my mom about this young lady and the whole experience. But while that experience started, I had another experience like that going on the other side of town with another young lady. And I'm not a player, but I did stretch my wings. I was a young man and I was stretching my wings, just seeing what's out there and being open. But the one thing I did do, which was a bit of advice I had got from my older brother. And we didn't talk a lot. He didn't talk a lot to me, but we did love each other and do love each other as brothers. But he was a guy of few words. But he told me something. He said, "El, make sure you always tell them about the fact that you're not the only one, and be straight up with them and very honest. And don't use that word 'I love you' loosely. Like, don't say it until you mean it." And I never forgot that which he told me, because we were standing in the kitchen where he told me this. He had just came in from racing his car, and I had just came in from a night kicking it with my buddy at the time, and I never forgot that interaction that we had just briefly at the counter in the kitchen. And so when I saw this other young lady, she was, I think she was 18, and I must have been 27 or 28 at the time. And she was such a pretty young lady, and it was like magic. We just clicked on every piece of conversation, and compliments, and just everything was perfect. We were just flowing. And so we got to know each other. So we spent a lot of time on the phone, and I would always talk to her, and even her mom. And I got to know her family pretty good. And so we became really cool throughout the years. I mean, we stayed friends up until her end, which was a sad moment when I found out she had passed, because me and this young lady, we didn't talk every day. We had not grown apart, but kind of got used to the fact that we are cool, and got into that kind of relationship where you kind of have some relationships with people where you don't have to talk every day, and you don't talk every day, but when you talk, it's like where you picked up last. And sometimes those are special relationships, and they're beautiful relationships. And so that's what we had going for ourselves. We were able to enjoy each other's conversation. And yeah, we went out a couple of times, and every time we got around each other, it was just good. But she ended up passing away, and I felt bad because when she was in the hospital, I mean, right before she passed away, when she was in the hospital, it turns out I was in the hospital, but we was on different floors, and I didn't even know she had an incident at her home that would be the last time she would be able, or the last time she would be alive. Her little daughter, 3 years old, bless her heart, she's the one who went outside and got the neighbors to come into the situation and call the ambulance. But it was sad because she was such a colorful person. I mean, this girl was the life of the party. I mean, it wasn't because she was just pretty. She was also a fighter. She was a go-getter. She wasn't afraid of anything. I've seen this girl down on her last dollar, but still talking like she's got $1,000 in her pocket. She had that kind of energy where she believed so much in herself, and because she also had a belief in God, she was so strong with uh, being positive about herself. I never seen this girl beat down on herself, like say things negative about herself or weak. She didn't describe herself at all like that. She was a go-getter. This girl, I never known her to have a regular job except for doing hair. I think when she went to Atlanta, she worked in a restaurant a little bit, but then she came back to Cleveland and began to get back doing hair, and she made her money. You know, she did her thing. She was a hustler. She did her thing. I'm not gonna put her business out there because I don't know too much of her business, but this young lady was a strong individual, and she was a fighter. And I mean, physically, this girl would tell me stories where she had to beat up a dude or fight a dude. I'm like, wow. You know, it got to the point where I felt safe around her. Like, you ever met a girl, if you a guy listening, met a girl who was so tough, you feel like I don't need to be afraid. She got my back. You know what I'm saying? This girl was like that. She wasn't just fine. I mean, because she was truly fine. But she also had some about herself. She was a go-getter and she was smart. She knew how to hustle. And so I appreciated all those attributes about herself. And she will truly, truly be missed. I just really hate that I was not there at her last breath, you know, or able to visit or what have you, because this young lady had been through, she had been in jail before, and every time she go, I'd visit her. And she had been to the hospital before with her health, but her health had began to decline. She found out she was diabetic, and she had to deal with that. Then she also found out she had to go on dialysis. So these different things came into play in her life, and I had wanted to, you know, uh, kind of be there in those times, but unfortunately, these times of these experiences that were going on in her life again would happen when we would kind of be like away from each other, not talking every day or whatever, you know. So um, I don't know if I'm giving a lesson or just telling a story about this young lady, but she was very, very nice. And when I was sick with my last heart scenario, she had came and my wife had told me she uh, came out to the hospital because I was unconscious, and she came out to see about me, and that was grateful. That was very nice and sweet of her, and I just want to say these different things and really focus in on her because that relationship we had was very cool and special, you know. And I've got some other special uh, relationships that are kind of similar, and they're going on. You know, we're connecting. We're still connected, and I'm grateful for those situations and relationships. But this one young lady, this flower here, that day I picked out of Tower City, um, she will be missed big time. So um, I don't really have anything else to say about her. And I don't know if I've got any more time. So I'm out of time, you guys. I didn't know when I get to talking how I didn't know when I started doing these videos, like, what would I talk about? And can I talk that long? But I see time can get away from you. So until then, you all have a very nice day on my birthday, the 24th of this uh, 2021. And I'm 51 today, and I'm not ashamed to tell my age. So, so laughter's great. It's good. Yeah, yeah. So we're sitting up here shooting this video, but the video's done over. So until then, until the next time, take care and have a great one.